In this episode, we will discuss terrestrial threats. These are risks that mostly originate on our planet and not from the cosmos. The famous poet Robert Frost wrote about perishing by fire or ice, and in fact, those are the two possible scenarios that we will examine. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if I had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. Here we will see that supervolcanos would be perishing by fire, and a snowball Earth scenario would be perishing by ice. Following, we shall summarize the 5 mass extinction events that have happened in Earth's history. Let's start with some dramatic video of lava being explosively ejected from the summit of a volcano. This is death by fire. A supervolcano is one that is capable of spitting more than 1,000 cubic kilometers of earth into the air. That's the size of the state of Rhode Island. They are caused by an enormous buildup of magma that pools under the Earth's crust before it ruptures. These types of volcanoes can cause ash to build up in the atmosphere, which blocks sunlight and then lowers global temperatures. As such, they can have powerful effects, including species extinction and the triggering of ice ages. Some estimates say that half or more of life on Earth could be lost under this threat. There are 20 different supervolcanoes around the world. Perhaps the most well-known is underneath Yellowstone Park in Wyoming in the United States. It has erupted multiple times in the past. If it erupted again, it would devastate much of the continental United States. The blast of the explosion would kill many in the immediate vicinity, and millions of tons of rock, ash, and dust would rain down across the land, collapsing roofs, covering roads, and stopping transportation. The fine glass particles in the volcanic ash, when breathed in, can cause lung damage and death, killing farm animals and requiring people to wear masks outdoors. Ash would cover crops and reservoirs, making agriculture impossible. The implications are that water and food supplies would dwindle, resulting in widespread hunger and starvation. The resulting quote-unquote nuclear winter, with lowered temperatures and sunlight, would make crops and farming difficult for years to come, even after any sort of cleaning up was finished. Can we prevent supervolcanoes? One way to mitigate the effects of this threat is to stockpile necessities like breathing masks, goggles, food, and water. One proposal by NASA is to cool off the building magma chamber by pumping in cool water. This creates steam which can be used to drive a turbine to generate electricity. This could convert this existential threat into a potential benefit, capable of making enough energy to power the entire United States. That is, assuming it is safe and doesn't have any unintended consequences. What about death by ice? Here we see animated footage of the growth and decline of a glacier over time. We are all familiar with the Ice Age, in which glaciers covered much of Europe. But imagine what the world would be like if the entire Earth was covered in ice that was a mile or more in thickness. Evidence suggests that this may have happened at least twice in our planet's history, with one episode occurring about 600 to 700 million years ago. The only life in existence at this time were microorganisms. Temperatures everywhere were far below freezing, with gale-force winds howling in the lower latitudes. The oceans may not have been frozen all the way through, however, allowing some water-based life to continue evolving. What could have caused this event? According to one theory, there was massive weathering of crustal rocks due to the breakup of the continent Rodinia, which consumed carbon dioxide. This, coupled with extended volcanic eruptions that blanketed out the sun, would have caused a dramatic global cooling effect. The first episode of Snowball Earth lasted for 58 million years, followed about 10 million years later with a second period that was much shorter, only about 5 to 15 million years in duration. It is not currently known why they lasted as long as they did and whether another such period might occur. Some estimates say that another snowball event is probably not going to happen for at least several tens of thousands of years. Needless to say, should it happen again, it would pose grave challenges to the continued survival of our species. A mass extinction is one in which 75% of species go extinct in less than 2 million years. According to this definition, there have been 5 mass extinctions in Earth's history, each caused by a rapid and dramatic change in climate and the composition of environments on land or in the ocean. This table shows each of the big 5 events, when they occurred, the percentage of species lost, and the causes. Note that many of these have to do with alterations in carbon dioxide levels, with extended volcanic activity, and in one case with an asteroid strike. It may be that we are entering a 6th mass extinction due to human activity. This has been dubbed the Holocene extinction. Species are currently dying off at 1,000 times higher than average due to human population growth and overconsumption of natural resources. The good news is that despite the enormous die-off in species, life itself always came back, adapting to the environmental changes. Also, many of the causal factors are foreseeable. We can tell when the atmosphere is changing, as it is now, and take action to mitigate the consequences. The question is, can we act soon enough?